I'm Brian Spicker, and I have the distinct honor of introducing Nita Francis, Juanita. Nita's leadership journey has been defined by an exceptional ability to bring people together to address complex challenges. Whether fostering collaboration across sectors, mentoring future leaders, or advocating for systemic change, her work reflects a deep understanding of the power of collective impact and perseverance. Nita has spent years championing causes that advance equity, opportunity, and resilience. Through her unwavering commitment to education, healthcare, and philanthropy, Nita has exemplified what it means to lead with purpose and compassion. And I had the good fortune of meeting Nita when I had hair about 21 years ago. And it was very impressive. And she's, what I came to understand is she's someone who looks at a problem and encourages systems change to solve that problem. An example was this, and you heard about it in the video, the improving medical outcomes for non-English speaking patients. Patients who were dying or had worsening outcomes in the medical system due to a lack of communication in their native language as well as in medical terms, especially in emergency rooms. So Nita went about influencing the powers that be at the U of A to develop and obtain funding for a medical interpreter project. She did this without resources. She made it happen because she was a convener, a trusted partner. She used the principles of teamwork and collaboration. There wasn't any funding initially, so she and her collaborators developed the curriculum and certification for health professionals and then looked for grants. The effort was then scaled by using a train-the-trainer model. This became a standard of care, a standard of practice, problem solved, mission accomplished. Nita leads by example, whether in front or from behind. She never seeks the limelight, yet casts her own light wherever she is. There's the light. During the COVID pandemic, she inoculated thousands of arms with a vaccine as a volunteer, working long days during the worst of the pandemic. She's also willing to step up and lead in front. An example was the All-In campaign for Valleywise Health Foundation. As co-chair with her husband Phil, they, along with others, doubled the original campaign goal, raising over $54 million to support programs and patient needs. Valleywise was able then to serve patients regardless of their ability to pay. In all of this, Nita puts family first. Phil, her 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and of course, her dog Scruggs. Nita came from humble beginnings. A horse-drawn plow was used by her dad as a tenant farmer. She was nurtured by great parents. They imbued so many great values that we get to see she acts in life. And she developed to be an incredible human being. Quite honestly, she didn't know they were growing up. She didn't know they were poor growing up because life was rich with her family. She smiles big when she thinks back on the smell of the fields and the smell of the soil. She is humble, and yet for those of us who truly know her, she is fiercely persistent and has a clarity of purpose. We've heard of Philisms, some of us here tonight. I have a couple of Nita-isms. One is own up to your mistakes. And the other one is the pronoun we is a really, really important pronoun. She lives the adage, bloom where you are planted. Thank you, Nita, for blooming in Arizona.
I guess I don't have to give a speech. Brian did. And this is not, as I've told many of you, this is not the thing I like to do, but I was told I had 6 minutes. I'm going to try to fill it. Can you all hear me back there? Oh dear. Okay, fine. Thank you, Valley leadership, so much for this honor. Having seen the pictures and the list of people who've been there ahead of me, I am completely humbled. It is, I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for the privilege of being in front of you, gathered leaders who have shaped the future of this community and beyond. Each one of you is a player in this dynamic drama called The Valley. Denise Resnick, I know you're here. She did a wonderful job earlier. Thanks for being a friend, a model, a creative person, a positive energy of strength and wisdom. And I think you had something to do with my nomination for the award, and I forgive you. You're fine. It's okay. Thank you. I see myself, as I said, not so much as a leader, but as a nurturer. I come from teaching, mothering, volunteering. And oh yes, I have lived with a business person for quite a while. So I have that. Thank you, Phil. Love you. Thank you. And as you saw in the early picture, we were married in our early 20s. We've grown up together. I was in his mother's 4-H club before I met him, or really started dating him. And I admired her before I fell in love with him. So Helen Francis was a homemaker, a teacher, a librarian, a chef, a mother of 4 boys, sons, and became a wonderful mother-in-law. And in all of those capacities, Helen Francis was a true leader. I remember in her later years, she listed all the things she was going to say and all the things she was going to do to stay healthy. So she did not become a burden on any of us. She ran through the list and plans and finished with, and this will take effort. Now Phil and I are of that age, and it does take effort. Yes, effort is one of the key factors in good leadership. Seeing what needs to be done and gathering the right people to do it, and then doing the hard work with a real figure it out and get her done attitude. That's leadership. As some of you know, list making is one of my signature activities. So here we go on a little list of leadership. Leadership is service with integrity, listening with intention, stepping up to the big stuff, stepping up to the little stuff, and managing change. First, leadership is about service and integrity. Valley leadership knows this. Integrity is the first of Valley leadership's principles of doing. Speaking of integrity, this may be the risky thing to say, and Brian started out by telling it, pronouns matter. Now that's kind of risky to say these days, but what I'm really talking about is real leaders use the pronoun we when they're talking about success. They always compliment and include others on the team in public. Real leaders use the pronoun me or I when it's about a failure or a mistake. It's always best to correct someone else in private because public embarrassment burns, and it can backfire and burn you. It's not always easy to share the credit, and it's especially hard to take the blame. This takes effort. Leadership's about listening to others. The ability to listen actively and to understand the perspectives of others helps us to lead with compassion and empathy. Nurses are trained to really listen to the patient, listen to the doctor, listen to the family. And we get pretty good at listening, at least in the professional setting. We don't always do that personally or privately, and some of you know that about me. Ideas come from many places. It's always important to listen and to respect others' ideas. It's just as important to be able to sort the good ideas from the not so good ones and the even bad ideas. I've noticed from many of you, I've been in coffee shops, CEOs' offices, board meetings, and other venues when I've stated what I thought you should do and how you should do it. And I appreciate the kind and respectful listening you all gave me. And then I really appreciate that you went on to find other ideas in some of those cases. Thanks for the respect and the patience. Leadership's about stepping up and stepping into the big stuff. And as you heard a bit about the Medical Interpreter Project, I am very, very proud and feel very fulfilled about that project. And some of you who worked with me, like Martha, are here tonight. I'm thrilled. It's also about stepping into the little stuff. It's about carefully facing the small, sometimes petty, interpersonal stuff that happens in organizations. I've been involved for 25 years here, and there are sometimes you get involved with a situation that isn't so good. What's great about nursing in the nursery is the little ones just cry when they're unhappy or poop or throw up. Adults are much more complicated. People are humans, whether they're CEOs or staff or employees or janitors. Too many times I've seen the good work of an organization get all snarled up in interpersonal competition and misunderstanding. It's very hard to decipher what another person is saying when you're looking through a filter that is dislike or disgust or distrust. The good leader finds a way to clear the air so the work can go on and the mission can be accomplished. And the best ones do it fairly, efficiently, and effectively. Ignoring this little stuff does not make it go away. We must move beyond the personal slights, the hurts, the wrongs we felt and move forward together, or get out of the way. And that takes even more effort. Sometimes it's right to just step aside. I'm getting close. And lastly, leadership is managing change and managing within change. Now, personally, I'm fine about change as long as I don't have to and you can. But that's not the way it always works. As residents of this valley, we are all familiar with change. We're no strangers to that. We're living with tremendous growth, new buildings, new highways, new neighborhoods, with rapid technological change, with economic and social changes, and with serious changes in our weather. It got hot last summer. We don't feel it now, but I think it got hot for quite a few days. We all must guide ourselves, our friends, our colleagues, and our family members through these times of uncertainty and significant change by finding ways to adapt and to innovate. And this group is exemplary of that. We must find solutions, figure it out, and get her done. This will take effort. Thank you.